What's up, Cardfighters? BOTCG here, and this has been... I can't say this deck hasn't been rogue since it's come out, because it really has. This has been a rogue favorite of mine for a long time, and it's just something that I've been working on basically ever since it came out, to like the best version of it as I possibly can with the cards that we have available. And then, you know, we finally got this guy, we finally got Prospector, bro, and I was fortunate enough to be able to, I believe I pulled 2, and then I traded for 1, and then shout out to my homie David, he just gave me 1. That's usually what we do at our locals, which is why I should suggest that if you guys have the opportunity to build or go to a locals, you should, just to build up that local community. Generally in our locals, if there's a promo that someone's looking for, we just kind of like trade promo for promo, or like, hey, here you go, like, I know this is like worth like a little bit of something, but you just get me on the next time. And that's usually generally how we do it in my local friend group. But anyways, regardless, on to the profile. We're gonna go on into engine, and then into our main engine of the deck, and then our mask engine, non-engine, just like the Orphis profile, which if you are interested in the mat giveaway, you should go into the Orphis profile and comment for my Q&A, because that's where we're going to be announcing the winners of the giveaway. Comment a question that you want me to answer down below, and that will enter you in the giveaway. And then we'll be doing the giveaway at the end of that Q&A session. But we're going to be structuring this like the Orphis mask profile. Is we're going to be doing engine, and then mask engine, and then non-engine, and then perfect guards and triggers. So going on to basically your evil eye engine of the deck is 3 copies of the regular evil eye. You really do need this because you do want to... It's crucial for you to resolve the first bind, remove from game skill of OMINAGRUZIO masks, so you do need to max out on this. And then 4 copies of OMINAGRUZIO masks. This deck, more than the Orphis deck, like meshes really well with the mask cards, just because when you do ride OG mask, it itself searches for the mask, does a top 5 search for the mask or a grade 3 OMINAGRUZIO. And your whole ride line, though, basically the whole premise of the deck is trying to make this hodgepodge of cards as consistent as possible. And honestly, if it was top 7s instead of top 5s, I think this deck would be initially more consistent than what it actually is. But because it was top 5s, it needs more consistency on top of the quote-unquote main deck consistency it already has. But regardless, getting on to the rest of the deck. 4 copies of Letalaika. She lets you get extra binds, and she also lets you Superior Call, so she's just one of the bread and butter cards of the deck. 4 copies of Misery Wing, just draw / beater of the deck. These 2 are this is generally what your front row will be. Contrast in what the deck used to be, what the deck is now, you have access to so much search and card draw. It's crazy. Like, it's just sign of the times, man. Literally sign of the times. And you have access to more shield too. And then 4 copies of Rune Collector. This is basically what's going to count for as 2 tributes for your OMINAGRUZIO mask restand. So there's really not much to say there. Getting on to the mask portion of the deck, So I cut the mask down to 2. 3 felt like too much, and then I was testing the mask at 2, and I was having trouble seeing the mask, but I didn't want to bump it up to 3 because once I do get the mask, essentially like the other copies of it are worthless because I have better avenues of searching for OMINAGRUZIO mask. So what I did here was I put more consistency in my deck that's already supposed to be consistent. That just shows you that this is definitely a rogue warrior, guys. So I put 2 Skull Kemna, and 2 mask. This felt like a way better answer to me not wanting to run extra masks, and it gives extra search targets too. If I did want to do, if I did want to activate the order, top 5 for a mask or Dragon Tree unit. So it's just something that cohesively went well. Something that I kind of have an issue with is getting this off the board. Sometimes you could suck this up with your Vanguard's ability, but more often than not, you're going to have Rune Collector for that. But it's something, because you want to have these two in the front row, so more often than not I'm pushing this guy back. That's the only kind of issue I've had with the deck, but not really an issue. And then 4 copies of the promo. This is going down. It won't be as expensive as it is. Nobody plays these decks. I know all my Jestar is getting support in set 2, I believe, so maybe it'll go up in set 2, but before then, like, hold off as much as possible, man. This card is going down. It's not worth its current price, trust me. Just trade for it if at all possible. Your wallet will thank you. 4 copies of Prospector. This is like the bread and butter of the deck. This is Prospector is, and I tried to turn this into a grade 3 toolbox deck, but that didn't really work. It kind of hurt my consistency overall, so I kind of scrapped that idea and just went for like ultra consistent as possible to get to my mask, and then to get as many copies of Persona Ride as possible, because your deck heavily relies on Persona Ride. You ideally want to be Persona Riding every turn, so 4 copies of Prospector is a must. If you have 2 or more triggers in the bind zone, he's a 15k shield, which is awesome. But you run him for his main effect, which is after attacking or boosting, shove him to soul, top 7 for a grade 3 card, and then add it to your hand. Just ultra consistency. This gets you your mask. This gets you your Omnias. Ultra consistent. We have the Skull Chemical. We have Prospector. We have OG. Like, we're really trying to be as consistent as possible, because this deck can get bricked up on a Tuesday very easily. Like, you need the specific combination of cards for this deck to work. And then for our non-engine, which I thought I would be losing out on value, because I did have to cut one of the Dark States Energy Cycler for a Skull Chemical, and I thought I'd be losing out on, because I would ideally want to run this at 3, but just like in my Orphis deck, 3 kind of felt like the magic number, sweet spot. I really didn't have any much trouble like seeing this at all, surprisingly. And this is just something that's really good. It's really good when you discard it. It's really good when you guard with it, and then you do have uses for it if you are Persona Riding, which you are. It just becomes a 15k booster, which is like really nice. Makes like your numbers, which are generally like okay, they're really scary once you activate Omnia Mask's ability, but it turns your really scary numbers like even better. And then getting on to the rest of the deck, 3 DPGs, 1 Blitzorder PG, just for Shiranui and Luard right now. And this is another reason why I really like this deck. We can still run the Dark States Overtrigger, baby, because this is a restanding deck, and you benefit off of the Dark States Overtrigger. Oh man, the Dark States Overtrigger, bro. Dark States. That's all I can say. Dark States. We are running Rainbow because that's just kind of like what the deck requires you to play. 2 effect fronts, 2 effect draws. Generally, people are running fronts instead of draws now, just because, again, sign of the times, decks can draw like a million cards now, and you really want to buff up your defense just because decks are naturally more defensive now. So generally, off the ride line, I like soul charging a front. If I know they're playing draws, I'll soul charge the draw, but like if I'm not sure if they're playing draws or not, they're more likely to be playing fronts than draws. And then 4 vanilla heals. And then we're running 7 vanilla crits. There's no reason to run the Into Soul crit, especially in this version of the deck. You just can create like such an excess of soul, which is perfect for your beat stick, because he costs 2 soul to be able to draw a card, and then you cost a soul of Skull Chemical, but you generate like more soul than generally you know what to do with, so you don't really need the Into Soul crit. Now, I'm always a big proponent of it's better to have it and not need it, to need it and not have it, which you can run it if you so choose to, but I just feel like I would benefit more off of the 5k booster, in my personal opinion. But yeah, guys, this is my OMINAGRUZIO Mask deck profile post Divine Z Set 1 Fated Clash. I don't believe this is the best deck right now, but it's definitely the best version of what Omnia Mask has been since it was initially released in Set 12. Like, this deck right now, Definitely I would put it in top of Rogue, maybe lower tier 2, but most definitely like top of Rogue. It can definitely hold its own. The only thing I would warn any Omnia players, or if you're fighting against Omnia, it doesn't really like it when you touch its rear guards. Its only real out to that is just replacing them, but it really doesn't like it when you touch its rear guards. That's the only like caveat to this deck. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Do check out our Orifice Mask video, because we do have the rules of the giveaway in there. So yeah, anyways, y'all have a great day. Later.